In this video, we're going to go over the top 3 mistakes that filmmakers make when planning out their productions. Welcome to the Wild 7 Studios backlot. This is your source for all things filmmaking, tips, tutorials, tricks, behind the scenes, lens tests, tutorials, all that good stuff. Thanks for joining us again. Today's special is an important one to me and my team here. It's about scheduling. We've been on a lot of shoots that have been scheduled well, and we've been on a lot of shoots that have been scheduled really poorly. There's a lot of signs that you can see within the schedule that can tell you whether a filmmaker knows what they're doing or not. You can really see someone's experience by how they schedule a film. And a lot of times they make the same mistakes if they're new. And you can see it right off the bat. You can see if they're green because they just don't know these things. These are things that come from experience. You just don't know how long things are going to take until you've done it sometimes. And that's what this video is for. We're here to help you out and give you our top 3 tips in what we think are the biggest mistakes that filmmakers make and how you can avoid them. So let's not waste any time and let's get to it. Tip number 1, and that's not giving enough time at the start of day. So at the beginning of day, when you're going to be filming someplace, say, all right, we're making a movie, it's a sports movie. And we're gonna be filming on a football field, and it's gonna be shot, we're gonna start shooting at, say, 7 a.m. So we'll make call time 6 a.m., and then we'll have cameras rolling at 7 a.m. So what you see in tons of schedules. All right, we're gonna have cameras rolling at 7 a.m., and then we'll shoot the sunrise, and then we'll wrap that out, and by 8:30, we'll move on to the next scene. This is a huge mistake, terrible move. First of all, they didn't start early enough. Giving your team an hour to get cameras up is pretty risky. It's pretty insane, especially if you're starting in. You've got to load in. You've got to build cameras. You've got to build lights. You've got to build G&E. And while all the departments are doing these things simultaneously, this stuff still takes time. You still have to troubleshoot some things. Hopefully the camera team has prepped everything in advance and everything is ready to go as much as possible. But they still need time to make sure everything is good and everything is set up. And you don't want to rush them. They're dealing with tools and equipment that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes. So you don't want to have them going too much. That's how lenses get dropped. That's how cards get formatted that shouldn't have been formatted. Mistakes get made when people are rushed. And I see that a lot at the start of the day, where a lot of times I'm hired to be a cinematographer, and I'll see, they'll want cameras up in 30 minutes. It's like, that's insane. We got to load in. We got to bring our stuff in. We got to find a spot to set up. We've got to actually, build tables, build carts, unload Pelican cases, get battery set up a charging station, make sure all the cards are formatted, make sure everything is clean, all the lenses are clean, make sure there's no dust on the sensor. All these little things happen. And yeah, they happen really fast, but you got to give time for them. And if you don't, mistakes will happen. Mistake number 2 that we see, and this is one we avoid at all costs on our films. We're producing a feature film right now with a wonderful team. The film's called Stray Cats. And I love working with this team because they never make this mistake, ever. And that's putting too many company moves in a day. If you put too many company moves in your shoot, it's just impossible. You got to set up and break down. And like I said, at the start of the day, you want to give more than an hour to be able to unload, unload, set up camera, set up lights, all these things. If you have a company move, you have to think, we have to wrap everything out. Then we have to physically move to a new location with everyone. Everyone has to get to this new location. All the actors, everyone separately, unless you have pass vans, but even then you're going to still have trucks, whatever, coming in separate waves. Once they get to set, they're going to have to unload and do that head-in process again. So having company moves really kills your day. It really kills a lot of time that you could spend filming instead. On Stray Cats, the feature we've on, we've yet to have a company move. We don't move. When we get into a location, we shoot that location until the day is done. And that really, in my mind, is the way to do it. You maximize your time. You're not overstressing crew. You're not putting any excess stress or danger or anything that can happen, any little problems. I've seen on some really inefficient, really poorly run productions that I've been on where they've had company moves and things get left behind. They forgot batteries before. They forgot cards. I've seen nightmare situations happening with company moves. So I would say if you can avoid them, it's not always possible, but never more than one in a day. If I see 2 company moves on a schedule, I'm probably not going to take that job. It's a bad sign. They don't really know what they're doing. They're going to demand a lot out of the camera crew, more than the camera crew is probably getting paid to do. So those ones are huge red flags to me as a filmmaker. And if you want your production to go smooth, try not to move too much. Try to keep it in one place if you can. And finally, this is the last piece of advice, and this is one I see a lot because we work in horror films specifically here, but that's not giving enough time for makeup and VFX. There's so many films I've worked on and projects I've worked on where they have blood gags, where they have some kind of prosthetic or some kind of makeup effect, and they won't schedule any time for that. They'll give them 5 minutes. They'll say, oh yeah, they could do it in between this shot and this shot. And it's like, all right, if you need the talent here, and then you need the talent to leave, go, get prosthetics on, have blood, these things, and then you need them in the very next shot, you can't schedule those back to back. You just can't. You need to give time. You need to give time to your makeup artist to do this. A good friend of ours here at Wild 7, we love him to death, is the great Robert Bravo. He's a VFX artist, he's a makeup artist, he's a master of all things gore, one of our great friends, and he was our makeup artist on Nas Red's Debbie and the Devil. He handled all of our gore, all of our prosthetics, and he told me a lot of horror stories. I apologized to him multiple times on set because we kind of did that to him. We put him in a bad position where it's like, yeah, you're only going to have a few minutes to get this ready. You have to get it ready as quick as possible. And you shouldn't do that to filmmakers. We didn't do a solid by him by doing that. It wasn't cool, and we honestly should give him more time and give everyone more time. Give your makeup team more time. Those are artists. Those are really talented people. Let them do their thing. Sometimes we, the filmmakers, focus so much on our job that we forget the importance of other people's jobs. So when you schedule these things out, don't forget that. Keep that in mind. Think about if you're going to need a prosthetic, you're going to need to talk to your makeup artist and get a realistic count of time for them. A funny thing we did on Stray Cats, our director is not from America. He's from a country where, let's just say, punctuality isn't the most important thing in the world. So a lot of times he would ask the crew, if you need 5 minutes, he would say American 5 minutes or my 5 minutes. And they would say American 5 minutes. And that means 5 minutes or less. That means for real time. But yeah, all these things are really important. Don't screw your crew. Don't screw people over on time if you want something important. And absolutely, absolutely, absolutely do not ever screw over stunt people when it comes to time. Like, you're just asking for problems. Their job is so dangerous and so risky. It involves so much safety checks and precautions. Don't ever rush your stunt team. If it looks like you're going to need more time, get another day. Figure it out. Get more budget. But do not put those people in a dangerous situation. Please, please, please don't put anyone in a dangerous situation. But I've seen so many stunt people get hurt. I mean, not severe injuries, but minor injuries because they're in a rush. They're being pushed to do something really fast and figure it out. Don't do that. That's not cool. Give all the people in your crew the proper time they need to make their films, to make their art, to do their jobs properly. That's what we're all here for. That's what's going to make the best product. If you have any questions about scheduling, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to help you out. I'm not an AD full time. I shoot and direct a whole lot more than I AD, but I've done a few jobs here and there as an assistant director. My business partner, April Mendoza, that's actually one of the things she's excellent at. She's a really great AD. And she's worked a lot of big jobs as an AD and done a lot of different kinds of shoots, and she has a lot of familiarity with it. So drop a comment below if you have any questions. We'll answer those for you. We'll help you out. We'll give you some tips, some advice, little strategies we know. Here's a little tip. I'll give you guys a little anecdotal tip before we go here. And this is how I got a department to work a little faster without working faster. We were on a big job, and it was for a streaming platform, probably the biggest streamer ever. I don't want to say who they are, but you know who they are. The job basically required that we were going to be doing some filming, and everything had to be fast. We were gonna have some executives from this company on set. They were there. They were kind of being nosy that day. So it was really important that we just hustled. I was the second AD and I was in charge of the glam department, the makeup wardrobe team. And they were amazing. They were great, but they weren't the fastest. And I didn't want to rush them because they were doing great. But it was one of those things where it's like, we do have to go faster. So the day before our final day, the important day, I asked the production coordinator, because I was working with talent, basically, can I put in orders for the talent, you know, for coffee, for runs, things like that. They wanted their own specialty stuff, and since they're talent, they can put in orders for specialty things. I emailed my glam team and I sent them a message basically telling them how important they were, how amazing they were, and how much I appreciated them. Gratitude goes a long way, guys. Gratitude really, really does go a long way, and I did appreciate them. They really did mean a lot. They were fantastic. They were part of my team, and I really did appreciate all the work they did. So I just told them, whatever you guys want, I got you. I got it taken care of. I actually wasn't paying for it. It was the production paying for it, but I still kind of made it seem like I was the one putting it together, because I did. But ended up getting them all specialty drinks, specialty whatever. It was a really small gesture, but they kicked butt for me that day. They really did. They really brought their A game. Anytime you give anyone caffeine, it's always a wise move on set. But yeah, they really showed up for me, and it was just a little bit of gratitude, and then you bring someone a coffee and they really show up, you know? Little things go a long way. So if you take anything from this video, it's plan, prep, and be gracious to your team. So from all of us at the Wild 7 Studios backlot, we really appreciate you watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. We're gonna have a lot of cool videos coming up really soon. We're shooting some short films here in the future. We're gonna have some cool little behind the scenes stuff. We've got a documentary coming out pretty soon that's gonna be a lot of fun. Some fascinating stuff about some really interesting Hollywood history. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.